Hello, YouTube, or whoever decides to watch this. This is I, Jay Joyner. And I come tonight to ask a very interesting question. I had posted it a couple of days on Facebook. The question was, do you need religion to find God? A lot of people had some interesting comments, which in all generalization, it was pretty much the answer was no, you don't need religion to find God. Okay, and I agree. I agree. You don't need a religion to find God. But then why do so many of you get up every Sunday and go to church to worship God? The reason I'm asking this is because, you know, there are over 33,000 different denominations of Christianity in the world, from what I could find. That's a lot. That's a lot of diversity. It's not the right word. Um, I guess that's a lot of. It's a lot of. That's a lot of division in a religion that is supposed to be about God, one God, who had one Son, who died for the sins of all mankind. And so, if we don't need a religion to find God, the, the why so much division in why so much division? There was even division back in the days of Christ, and it's just today it's just like, wow, you all claim to follow one God, one and the Son of God, but all of you go about it in such a different way. I mean, growing up in my years of going to church, I grew up a Roman Catholic, went to Roman Catholic church. A little confused by all that. I was young. Yeah, I was young, 5, 6, maybe. And and then a couple years later, I went to a Baptist church. This one I remember the most because I stayed there the most. We went through a lot of pastors, but we all pretty much, we went to church every Sunday. We had opening worship. We sang songs, and heard a story. And then we went to Bible classes. And and then from there, as I got older, I started attending the actual church services. And we sang hymns and we read from the Bible and we'd say a prayer, and that was pretty much it. And then we'd get a different pastor, and it would be done a different way. But pretty much the same thing would happen. We'd sing hymns, have a prayer, give tithe, offering, as it was called a lot. It was offering. Pretty much every church I went to, it was called the offering. Um, but we all did the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. And then as I got older, I started to notice the same thing going on in other churches. Started going to Lutheran churches. Went from a Baptist church to a Lutheran church. And the Lutheran church took a lot from Catholicism. You know, we sang hymns, we said creeds, chants, some prayers of some sort, like the saying the same thing over and over and over again so many times that God would hear us and answer our prayers. And we did this every Sunday. It was like a chant, you know. The pastor would say one thing and we'd respond. The hardest time I had was when one of the times the pastor, again, it changed a lot, but the pastor was at one point in time a female. Wearing the robes and the whole 9 yards. It was kind of weird. She baptized my daughter. Weird. Anyway, and then went to a Methodist church, United Methodist. That's where I ended my church. I ended going to church at that point. Because my now ex-wife, had cheated on me. And when I went to the pastor for help, I was unceremoniously excommunicated from the church. Because I asked, why do you preach a doctrine you don't follow? And he told me to get out. I was no longer allowed inside that church, and to this day I will not step inside that church. Now, to let you people in on it, those who don't know me, I am a Christian. I profess to be a Christian, but I am a Christian. I am a biblical Christian. I am what the people in Antioch first called the followers of Christ, as Christians, those who followed the teachings of Christ. And I say I do, to the very best of my human abilities. I'm not perfect. And anybody who says they are, no. No. Because we all sin and fall short of the glory of God. The cool thing, though, is that because God gave us His Son, those of us who believe on His sacrifice and that His divinity, we've been forgiven for the sins that we have committed in the past, present, and future. But at the same time, if ask for forgiveness, try to stay away from the same repetitive tasks. And I try my best. I'm no saint. Far from it. But a lot of us are not saints. Going further on with this, in not being a perfect Christian, and I asked this whole thing going on again with, do you need religion to find God? So, with that being said about do you need God to find religion, and you know that I am a Christian, I don't think you need God, and I don't think you need a religion. I don't think you need a denomination either. You know, we all believe in the same God. We all believe in the same Christ. And a lot of you non-believers out there that'll be watching this, you cannot deny that Jesus was an actual person. You just have a hard time understanding his divinity. Well, we'll be praying for you. Um, but people, stop trying to shove church down other people's throats, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. Because you don't need to go to church to find God. You don't need to follow a religion or a denomination to find God. God God is right here in his word. God is out there. You just have to open up your eyes and look. That's how I found him. That's how I believe. Yes, I did the whole church thing and I followed the whole church thing and the whole, Dear Jesus, I know that I'm a sinner. The sinner's prayer, please come unto me and take away these sins from me. I know that I am a sinner and please forgive me for the sins that I have done. And voila, you are saved. And then you go and you get baptized. I followed the whole thing. I did that. And I later found that church kind of tweaked it a little bit. There is no sinner's prayer. It's a simple, just release of releasing yourself and just saying, God, just take it over. I'm done. I can't do it myself. Jesus, just take it over. Take over my life and just lead me. It's a release. It's a freedom. You know, like Pinocchio saying, I've got no strings to hold me down. When you believe in God and you finally realize God is there, there's no more strings. The world can't hold you down. This has been a ramble by Jay Joyner. And just so you know, folks, this is a ramble that's been going, that's coming from the mind of a man who's been 36 hours without sleep. Guys, there's no rest for the wicked, or something like that. Peace, love, and God bless, my friends. And I hope you find something educational out of this, or at least it was a good laugh. Toodles.